Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite must-have CC items when it comes to making berry sims. This video was actually suggested by O28 Nymphtra, so thank you so much for suggesting it to me. Before we start though, I must warn you, getting into berry sims is painful. Your mods folder is going to get huge, your game is going to suffer, and your computer might cry. Not fry, but cry. There's a lot of CC that you can get, and of course you should know your computer's limit. You don't want to overdo it and then have a game that you won't be able to play. So in order to control that, I'm going to be splitting this video into 3 parts. The first thing we're gonna cover is the basics, what CC is necessary to make berry sims, what are the essentials, and on the second part I'll share some of my favorite CC at the moment, which is not necessary for making berry sims, so you just get what you like, and that way you can kind of control how much CC you get. And you won't go overboard like me. You gotta have some self-control, people. If you see your game is struggling, you can always remove some of the CC you got from the second portion of the video and just keep the rest. And if you don't know how to remove CC from your game, if you downloaded a lot of it, threw it onto your mods folder, and now you don't know which one it is that you want to remove, that's what the third part of the video is going to be about. I'm going to be showing at the end how you can remove CC from your game in an easy way. And with all this said, let's get started. Berry sims are colorful sims, so the first one we're gonna need is some berry skin colors. And these are the most popular ones. They're by Thai, also known as Noodles over on Tumblr. They created a berry color palette, and usually they recolor everything that you might need to get started. So if you go to their Tumblr page, you'll find not only the skin colors, but also all the hairstyles you have in-game from packs recolored in those berry colors. Of course, there are many other color palettes, which I'll get into in the second portion of the video, but if you don't want to overcrowd your mods folder, this palette will do. It's 64, 65 if you count the peach color swatch, so it is plenty of colors, trust me. Next up, you need eye colors. Noodles also has some berry eyes for download over on their page, but there's many to choose from. These right here are the ones that I usually use. They're a recolor of the eyes number 15 from Sims. The recolor is made by Rachel. I wish I could pronounce her username, but I cannot. I'm gonna butcher it. Like, you see them? They're beautiful. But you have many options. If you have some CC eyes in your game that you already like, there's a big chance that those have already been recolored by someone, so just Google the name of the eyes that you have already, followed by the word berry, and you might find it. We already covered hair, so let's move on to the eyebrows, which Noodles has them recolored as well. And now we have the makeup. And you might ask, why do we need makeup? Is it really necessary? And yes, it kinda is. If you are creating a berry sim that has a warm skin color, like if their skin color is a warm color, I don't know if I'm making sense, but if your sim has a yellow, orange, red, pink skin color, then the makeup you already have will look good on them. But on cold colored berry skin colors, that's a different story, and it's even harder if their skin is darker. Of course, now we have sliders, but a lot of CC you have probably doesn't work with them, so yeah, you kind of need something that works for everything, something that's universal. And it's only 3 things that you need: an eyeshadow, a blush, and a lipstick. For eyeshadow, this one has never failed me. It works with all skin colors, you can change the intensity of it, and it looks pretty. You know, it's simple enough that it looks good on everything. Then for blush, I use my own that I made. I never posted it officially online, so it doesn't have a thumbnail, and swatches are a mess. But all you need are these 3 swatches. And I made them work with sliders, so yeah. You have full control over how the blush is going to look like. And finally, for the lips, I have these by Gallagher pens, which has all the berry colors from Noodles palettes, and you can change the opacity if you find the colors to be too much, like if they're too vibrant and you just don't really vibe with that, you can totally change the opacity of it and maybe it'll be more up your alley. If you want to give your sim some facial details like some eye bags, some beauty marks, freckles, dimples, usually what you already have in game works on berry sims, but if you want something that is more colorful, I recommend these berry freckles, which are also made by LaulauPlays. Of course, you can use regular looking freckles, but these look better, and you can't deny that. If you are making a male sim and you need facial hair, Noodles has you covered. Eyebrows for kids and toddlers, Noodles has you covered. Thank God we have Noodles. If we didn't have them, we probably wouldn't have berry sims. Again, there's a lot of other color palettes that you can use, and other people have their own palettes, but like if you go to their page, there's literally everything there to get started with berry sims, and you gotta appreciate that effort. And this concludes the first portion of the video. Yes, I didn't talk about clothes and shoes and accessories, but that's because you can use stuff that you already have in game. And any other CC that you might already have also works. Like if I'm being honest, I don't really look for berry recolored clothing. I just use whatever CC that I like, that I find, and if it is the right color and it looks good, I use it. There are no rules when it comes to styling a berry sim. Because you know, clothes are really colorful, but skin, hair, and eyes aren't. That's where you're lacking when it comes to having more colorful swatches. And now we move on to my favorites, which are not needed, you just download what you like. And I'm going to be starting with the hair, because you could probably tell from the first part of the video that I only mentioned recolors of existing hairs from the game, not recolors of CC hair. And that's because there are so many being released every single day. And you know, instead of going through it in my game, let's go online and I'll tell you where I find them. So first of all, my favorite creator is Hula Zombie, which for some reason they privated their Tumblr page because I can only view it like this, which is really annoying. Like it's not easy to navigate through her page. You can only scroll down and hopefully you find what you are looking for, but it takes a while to get to find whatever you want to find on her page. I think it's because she's on a break, that's why she privated it, but yeah, it kind of sucks because I really like her content. I'm gonna try to share some of the hairstyles that I like from her page over to my CC Finds Tumblr, and hopefully that will make it easier for you guys to navigate through that. You guys remember Noodles? We're not done. They actually have another Tumblr where they reblog CC content from other creators that use their color palettes. In here you can find hairstyles, you can find stuff for children, for toddlers, clothing that is fully recolored in the Noodles Sorbets palettes, also eye colors, build and buy stuff, accessories, and eyebrows. There's everything in here. And do you guys remember me saying that there's other color palettes? Yeah, let's talk about that. Noodles is the most popular, but Wildly Miniature Sandwich has a color palette as well, in which she also recolors a lot of stuff in it. There's also the Candy Shop palette, which is a recent one, so there's not a lot of stuff recolored with this color palette, but you can always just search on Tumblr or by going to CC Find pages. You have Max's Match CC World, which is another place that I go for berry CC, but if you already have a page that you go to for CC shopping, that page probably has berry content. If you cannot find an option in navigation page and the Tumblr doesn't have a navigation bar for you to search things, there's actually something that you can do. You can go over to the link at the upper top and type in /search/ and then the term that you are looking for. In this case, it's berry. And then you'll find every single post that has the word berry in it. And to make things even easier, every single post that you have will have tags. And so once I find a post of what I want from the search, I can try to see if there is a tag being used for berry content. And if there is, you can click on it and you'll find all the posts with this tag. But this is not needed in this Tumblr page. If you go to navigation and you go over to create a sim, there is an option that says recolors by palettes. And if you click on it, you can see all the palettes that you have available for you. And as you can see, there's many more than the ones that I mentioned in this video. Another creator that recolors hairstyles, clothing, and other stuff in berry colors is Sweet Berry Turtle. And the good thing about their content is that they recolor stuff not only in the Noodles Sorbet palette, but they also started recoloring stuff in the Candy Shop palette. Also, don't limit your CC shopping to a specific website. Sometimes if I'm making a sim that is based off a fruit or a theme in specific, I usually just go to Google and I look for it. Don't underestimate the power of Google Images. You'll find a lot of stuff. Pinterest is also another good website for doing CC shopping. Also, if you find a hairstyle that you like and you are curious to see if it has been recolored in Recolors, there is a database of all the things that have been recolored in the Noodles Sorbet palette. All the info about it is on Down and Out's Tumblr page, and as you can see, there is so much stuff that you can find here. And if you're looking for something specific, let's say taller clothing, you can press the keys Ctrl and F at the same time to open the search window and then type taller, and you'll find all the CC4 tallers in this category. This database is also a good way of finding other berry CC creators. But let's go back into the game, shall we? Now that I shared where I find my CC, I just want to share a few extra things that you can use to make your berry sims more unique. Just some little details, starting with the skin details. So let's go over there. The first thing that I want to share is this hairline. The original one is by Pixelor, but we also have it in Recolors. And as you can see, it just adds more detail to your Sims features. I don't know, whenever I make a Sim and I don't give them a hairline or baby hairs, I just feel like my Sim is incomplete. I just got so used to them. Do you see them? Such a nice little detail. Another thing that I want to share is this skin detail over here, which is by Sweetly Sims. I forgot the name of this thing. Yet again. But it's skin discoloration and it has some freckles to it. You can give your Sim 2 colors if you want. And it's just another one of those details that is kind of nice to add in. Now moving on to the ears. I have here some pointy ears. This is actually a mod that you can add in. If you have Get to Work, it's the only requirement for the mod to work. I think they work for all ages. If you have that expansion pack, if you don't have that expansion pack, this mod is not gonna work. Just a little heads up. But I know there is one that works with the base game. I'm gonna see if I can find it, and if so, I'll link it in the video description. But this is what it looks like. And do berry sims need to have pointy ears? No, they don't, but I don't know, it just makes them more magical, more whimsical, and sometimes, I don't know, that could be your aesthetic. I feel like there's always a theme with berry sims, and the theme is really up to you. It can be sweet, it can be mystical, it can be more cottagecore. And so giving your sims elf ears is kind of a nice touch, you know? Oh, but also, if you don't have the Get to Work expansion pack, I actually have some CC in my game at the moment. It was for a Creative Sim, which should go up at some point. But this is what it looks like. And as you can see, it doesn't alter the ears. As you can see, they're still over here, but it just adds onto them. So if you want to create mystical sim, an elf, like, this is pretty neat. You just need to make your Sims ears small so that you don't see them. But yeah, this is a good alternative to that. And now moving on to my last little detail, at least for female Sims. There's one more detail that I want to share. But for female Sims, I actually found something very recently, which is these little hair strands. And these things are apparently called ahoge. At least that's the Japanese name for them. It's just little hair strands that stand out. And some of them are extremely cute. It just adds in something else to your Sims. And again, when you are making a berry sim, you're not aiming for realism. You're aiming for something that is cute, something that is different. And I think this little detail is just everything. I love it so much. Let me actually see if I can find a different hairstyle. Oh, I think I found something cool. Okay, let me go check out the hair strands again. I think this one looks really nice on her. By the way, I'm gonna be sharing this sim to the gallery, and all the CC for this sim is gonna be listed in the description down below if you want to find something else that you can use for your berry sims. Again, the clothing, none of it is berry content, it's just regular CC. I just use whatever swatches I find that are the color of the berry sim and I use them, and I just try to make it work. So let me just go save her really quickly. And the last accessory that I want to share is actually for male sims. So if you have a male sim, ignore the hair roots, I don't know what's going on over there. But if you have male sims, there's actually body hair that you can use. Let me just see if I can find it. Here it is. It is by Hula Zombie, and we have a lot of different options, and all of them come in all the berry colors. So you can really pick whatever hair color your sim has and use it. And now that we reached the end, it's time to talk about all the CC that you might have gotten that maybe you do not want and you want to get rid of it and you don't know how to do it. Well, here's an easy way. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and reset the current household so that we have a completely blank sim. And with this blank sim, it doesn't matter what they look like, they just need to not have any CC on them. So it's good to pick the first one that the game gives you, because usually that one doesn't have any CC. Maybe it does have on the other categories. Yeah, the shoes are CC, but you can take a quick look and just make sure. If they have something that is CC, you can remove it. But once you have your sim without any CC, you're gonna go over to the category where you have the CC that you do not want. In my case, I actually installed something. I downloaded some CC and I forgot to download Mesh, which is typical for me. Happens a lot. So I want to remove this. If you have more than one hair that you want to remove, you can go over here. You can go to a different outfits, or if you have a lot of hairs that you want to remove, you can add in another outfit, and then you can pick another hairstyle, whatever hairstyle it is, and just keep picking all the hairs that you want to remove. For clothing, do I want to remove anything? Actually, this top, it is a little bit too alpha for me. If you know what I mean. So let's say I have all CC that I want to remove right now on sim. I'm gonna go ahead and give her a name, a random aspiration, and some random traits, and just go ahead and save her. Then you're gonna close the game, and once you leave the game, you're gonna want to open up a software called Sims 4 Tray Importer. I'm gonna leave a link to where you can download this program. The website is in French, but all you need to do is click on Télécharger ce fichier, and that will download the file for you. You install it, and once you do, this is what you have. And over here on the left, you can see all the sims that you have saved on your library. So you're gonna click on the one that has a CC that you want to remove, and you're gonna go over to CC. And over here, you can see all the CC that the sim has currently on. Apparently it has some other CC that I forgot to remove, doesn't matter. This hair I want to remove because I do not have the mesh for it. So I'm just gonna double click, and this is gonna open up the file location, and I just press delete, and there you go. That's how you remove CC very easily. Another thing that is really handy about the software is that when you click on CC, it kind of gives you the preview image of what CC it is, so you can see what you're removing. So if your sim has something that you actually want to keep, you'll know. And you won't remove it by accident. And there you go. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you. And until the next one, goodbye everybody. Take care.